So good morning, good afternoon. Thanks for taking the time to join the Progress demo session. My name is Kay Griggs, and I am the marketing manager for Asia Pacific for Progress. And the goal of our session today is really to show some of the key features of Sitefinity, which is our digital experience platform, and how the platform actually works, how it is easy for marketers to use, and then also from the perspective of those who's in technology, who handles the technology deployment and then do the integration. There's also something for the team that's more on the IT side. For that, I have two people joining us, Andrew Quack, who's going to be doing the demo, and then also Jay Sanderson, who's also another expert. He's there for standing by for any questions you might have throughout the demo session, and also after the session, he will be available for answering the questions. So I hope that you enjoyed the session, and if you have any questions, please pop them into the questions window. With that, I'll pass it on to Andrew.
Hello everyone. Thanks for joining our Sitefinity demo session today. My name is Andrew Quack and I'm the Senior Solution Architect from Progress. So in today's call, I will go through the following agenda. I'll give a brief introduction of Progress software, and then we'll go through into Progress Sitefinity, and we'll go through the multi-site language management, the personalization and customer journey, how it can be done, the tracking itself and the analytics that we can derive from that, as well as some business application integration that we can do with Sitefinity. Then at the end of the session, we have some time for Q&A, so do feel free to ask questions until then. Now, Progress Software as a company has been around for more than 40 years. We have quite a number of products that we actually white label by different organizations like Microsoft, Oracle, and Google. So they actually white label our products to be used by them. And throughout the years, our strength has been that we actually put in a lot of money in terms of the revenue that we have into product investment as well as R&D. Then we have more than 2,000 employees in more than 20 plus countries. And we do have a big group of software companies that builds their product on our Progress technologies, as well as more than 3.5 million developers that use the various products that they have. So all in all, we have hundreds of millions of consumers that use the application on a daily basis. And I mean, whether they know or not know, that is what is going on with Progress. Now, in terms of the applications that we have, this is a very high-level view of what we offer to the internet and technologies company. So over on the green tier, we have things like native app, responsive web app, progressive web app, and conversational experience. For example, our conversation chatbot is called Native Chat, which actually it's an AI and machine learning capability chatbot that can integrate fully with Sitefinity. So essentially what this means is that with Sitefinity content management system, you can use the content there to power the FAQ for the chatbot so that you don't have to do it separately in another applications. Now over on the blue tier, we have the things like digital experience platform, which is what Sitefinity is all about today. And I'll briefly go through that in the demo later. We also have a digital decisioning platform called Codicon, which is a business rules engine. So it allows the likes of business institutions and financial institutions like banks, insurance company, to actually easily and effortlessly implement a set of rules engine to make it easier for them to change in the future. Then over on the purple tier, we have the data connectivity and integration tools. So if you have a requirement to integrate with things like SAP, CRM, Power BI, and with traditional databases, we do have a different kind of connectors for that as well. So if you have the needs, do feel free to let us know. Then over on the secure file transfer side, this is a product called Move It, and we have both the on-prem and the cloud solution. So what this means is the solution actually helps you to enable to get files or get uploads from the users, whether they are on the public internet, or allows your users to move files within the organization in a secure and auditable manner. Over on the black side, on the right-hand side, we have the application and network monitoring tools. So things like WhatsApp Go, Flowmon and Loadmaster, which is our load balancer solution. So all these are actually part of the offering from Progress as well. And last but not least, we have the DevOps, which is our Chef.io. So that is essentially the infrastructure as code offering, and you can essentially deploy servers just using codes and ensure that everything is compliant with the respective institutions that you might have. So as you can see from Progress, we are not just one product or two products company. So we have many different products that can work together as well to help drive your technology needs. Now let's go into Progress Sitefinity. So in the recent Magic Quadrant, Sitefinity is actually regarded as a good value for money if you were to compare to the likes of Sitecore, Adobe. Now, the reason why we are actually listed here is, of course, that we are actually relatively easy to use with the low code and drag and drop capability, so that your users can actually create forms, pages, landing pages, and then provide customizations and content targeting for your users. So I did mention briefly about the native chat capability. So native chat again is a add-on for Sitefinity that you can create, you can incorporate to provide a chatbot for your website. Now, in terms of Sitefinity, it's also an omni-channel platform. Essentially, what this means is that if one set of content in your Sitefinity, you can use it to power your likes of desktop, mobile solutions. You can do it for kiosks and even mobile app as well. So it allows your marketers and developers to easily develop these features from within one CMS itself, so that you can actually have a rapid time to market and provide the necessary personalization to optimize your customer journey, which is what we'll go through later today. In this blue purple slide, these are the four fundamentals of Sitefinity. First of all, it's actually multi-site and multilingual out of the box within one instance of the CMS. So what this means, you can actually manage different languages, different websites, for example, abc.com, xyz.com, all from one instance, and allows your marketers to don't have to log into so many places. Then we also have Sitefinity Insight, which is our analytics platform, and this is what is used to power the personalization, A/B testing, and do website tracking together with the likes of ability to actually incorporate external data. And I'll go through briefly about that in the demo later as well. Now, Sitefinity is actually cloud enabled natively. So what this means is you can actually install on-prem. You can also install in the cloud provider of your choice, for example, AWS, Azure, as long as they are able to run the Microsoft.NET platform, since it's a natively support platform. Then by default, it's also support B2B, B2C e-commerce, and you can actually use the enterprise site search tailored to your business to do different search index for your organization's needs. Now let's go directly to the Sitefinity demo right now. So over on this screen that you see, essentially this is a quantum demo site, and it is a demo site that we use for our demo. So it's similar to many websites where you have the header, you have the banner images with the marketing text, you have the different kind of informations like the shops, the news, and the footer as well. So this will be used for the demo today, and immediately when you log into Sitefinity, this is what you will see. So over on the dashboard, you can have a glance of how to create different kind of content, and you can see who is working on what content today, as well as your own content. So it's also this dashboard is also be able to customize your needs as well. Now, the first item of today is the multi-site, multi-language implementation. So in terms of multi-site, it is very simple to navigate if you are actually having multiple websites to manage. So if you were to click on the down arrow here, you can see that over here we have 6 different websites that I'm actually actively managing. And in order to, maybe you want to manage the Quantum UK website, you can essentially just click to here, click on the UK, and then you'll be redirected to the UK content. So essentially you can see that already at the UK content, then you can go to manage either the pages, the content, or the different personalization aspect of the website. Now, I will navigate back to the Quantum International, and then your content will be back here. You will also be able to share the different kind of content. Let's say you want to share content created in Quantum International to the UK version, you can do that as well. So content created in one site can be shared easily with the other sites. Now, for multi-language, it's actually pretty simple as well. Let's go to the page. So in this page section, these are where all the different pages that you are actually managing for this Quantum International website. So as you can see here, I have two default languages right now. One is the English version and one is the Spanish version. And immediately, let me go to click on the home screen so I can show you how it can be done to manage the website for different languages. Now, when this page loads up, what you'll see is a editable interface that is for the home page. So essentially what you can see here is the English version. Now, if I were to have a need to edit content for the Spanish, I can just click here. I can choose the language to edit. So if I choose the Spanish version, I will be redirected to all the content that is in the Spanish. I can just click on the edit button here, and the content will actually be for the Spanish, including the images, essentially everything down to the URL as well. So let's go back to the English version. So this is to manage things on a page level. Now let's see if I want to manage things on the content level, such as the news item. So I will go back to the news item here. I'll go back to the menu. I'll click on content. I'll click on the news item. Now, because I'm in the English section, I can see that there's all this in the English text. I can see the different translation as well. I will click on the news item here, and everything is in English. Well, this is currently the Lorem Ipsum sample text, but the header is in English. So let's say I want to manage the content for Spanish. Same thing. I click here, choose the Spanish item, and then it will be changed to the Spanish content item. Now, we also have the ability to compare the different translation. So you can compare the default translation they're editing with any other languages that you might have. So it makes it easier for your content editor to maybe do on-the-fly translation for the English content to the respective different languages. So this is how we can handle the different languages in terms of the content. And that's it for the multi-language. Now let's go into personalization and the customer journey. Now before we go on to that, I want to introduce Sitefinity Insight to you. So in this screen, what you see is the Sitefinity Insight dashboard. Now Sitefinity Insight is also provided for any of our Sitefinity license up to 100,000 visitors. So essentially what this means is you can actually track 100,000 visitors in your website before the ability stops. We will still continue to track, so as long as you are able to purge the 100,000, you can actually continue to use it. Maybe you want to purge it every few months, depending on the number of contacts that you have that comes to the website. And if there's a need to increase those contacts, we also have the add-on for that, all the way up to the unlimited contacts option. Now, inside, what you see here is essentially what you can see for conversions touch point of the people who actually come to your website, the visitors, the new contacts. So this dashboard is actually able to be managed by anyone. You can actually customize to show what you want to see at a glance. And we have 3 different sections on the left. One's for performance, to see how your website is performing based on the different kind of content conversions that you have. And then we have the optimization. Essentially, this is for A/B testing, personalization, and the recommendations. And today, we will talk about personas. So as you know, a persona is basically the kind of people that you are actually trying to address on your website. It could be people who are doing purchasing IT items or people who are actually looking at certain kind of information. For today's demo, I am looking at a potential client for users who are actually coming to the Quantum website. So I can easily define a persona based on that by clicking define personas. So I click on the name, so it can be anything. So in this case, I put it as a potential client. All these are not compulsory, but if your UX team has already provided to you different personas, you can actually use this to create it. So it makes it easier to show up. Now I can define a personal threshold. So essentially what this means is that the points that you put down is to determine how this persona is triggered. So for example, if this person keeps visiting a particular page 10 times, and each time you actually assign a score of 1, so by the 10th time, you actually will assign the personas to this. So today's demo, I will assign at 10 points. You will see why later. I will save these personas. Okay. Okay. So this is a mandatory info. So when this persona is created, you need to add the rules to see when the scoring can be done. So in this case, I will define the condition. So I will have a form. So what I determine is the form will actually be when a user submit a form that is contains a URL called landing page, then I have a rules that is being created. Okay, so if the form contains the word landing page, I will select the personas for a potential client. And I'll save the rules. So this is done for the persona. And how can this be triggered will be done within Sitefinity itself. So next, I will create a personalization aspect for this by creating a user segment. So I immediately go to the marketing section, create the personalization. Okay, I'll create a user segment. So a user segment is based on the different characteristic. So in this case, a characteristic can be based on IP location. Your location, for example, you want to target people based in a certain city or certain country, you can do that. Or different URLs, landing pages. So it could be a Facebook advertisement that arrive on the landing page with the so-called UTM content or UTM source code. So in this case, I will choose the persona and I will select potential client. I will save it. Okay, and ensure that this is active, I'll create this segment. Okay, so my user segment has been created. So what do I do next? Now I need to ensure that to show how the potential users, potential clients, once they fill in the form, I want to show them a different message in the header when they come back to the website itself. Okay, now let's go to the personalization aspect. So I go to the home page. So while it's loading up, I will customize this area, okay, easily. So I click here, add a personalized version. So what, I'll choose a user segment. So in this case, it's a potential client. So what it does is that it will actually replicate the default banner, this area, content area. So maybe I want to say hello from, then I want to change the image as well. So I want to change to this image. And then I save it. So there you have it. So for potential client, for people who actually fill in a landing page form, once they come back to the website again, then they'll be able to see the different content here. So you can actually preview this as well easily to make sure that it's actually triggering correctly. So your personalization console will be here. The default page is this text and this image. I can select a specific segment and just to make sure everything's okay. So it looks okay. So I'll do a save. and then I'll publish it. Okay, so how do we actually test it out on the live site? Let's go back to the console. I will have I will view this in basically this landing page that I created earlier with the form. So let's take a look at it first. So it's actually this landing page could be something that you created to drive your conversions. It could be something that you use your Facebook to let users to reach here. And at the bottom, I have a user form. So this is the one that will trigger the personalization. As long as someone actually fills in this form, and the next time they come back to the homepage, they'll be able to see the customized message for them. Okay, let's do that right now and see how it works. Okay, let's view it in private mode. So once you click on the landing page to view it, you can see the landing page as it is. So what you see here is the landing page that I created earlier, and I will go down to fill in the form. For example, I have my name, I fill in the numbers, and I submit. So once this page is submitted, what happens is I have a thank you message where I created in the form earlier. And as you remember, what I have done earlier was to change the image in the main page to show a different text and image. So let's go back there and take a look. So now, once I fill in the form, you can see that the default text and image has been changed from the earlier one lady to these two ladies, which we configured earlier in the CMS. And this is a text. So you can actually do all this within Sitefinity itself. Now let's go back to take a look at the data that we have submitted. All right, now let's go to Insight itself. For all the personalization that you have created in Sitefinity, the reports will be created for you automatically. So these are the various reports that I've created earlier, and it will be done within 24 hours so that the system is actually done on automatic basis. So for example, it actually show the different conversions, different segments on this personalization report. And over here, it also shows the conversion uplift. So in this sense, the darker color will show the most uplift, essentially where the people are actually filling the forms from, what kind of personas and which page. So you can actually use this data to enhance your website. Now let's see the different kind of user tracking that we have. So other than the personalization report that you see here, which is the page view, personalized views, the percentage of the personalized view over time, you can see the conversions, you can see the different segments and their conversions. You can also see the context itself. So for example, since I fill in the form, I am a known contact. What this means is that the insight can attribute the conversion to a known person. In this case, for this particular person, which is me. So the first time I actually went to the website was today, and I actually reached the landing page. It can show you that I actually submitted the form on the landing page, and then it actually recognized me as a persona because of the 10 points that was attributed to me. And at the end of the day, I actually went to the homepage, which has been personalized for myself based on the personalization that was given shown earlier. So the thing about Insight is that you can also retroactively create rules so that data that was collected earlier, maybe like a few months ago, based on the different rules, different conversions, and once you created those conversions, the data will be reprocessed to show you the different conversions KPI, the different conversions value as well. So unlike Google Analytics, where if you were to modify a report, the reports will only start showing you the data that was collected after the report criteria has been saved. So that is one of the main differences between Insights and Google Analytics. So let me show you another context that we have from earlier. Okay, this was done for a particular demo. Okay, I will choose a different data center. Okay, so this is for a fleet management client. All right, so what I want to show you is for this particular user, has different kind of context information. And so you have different kind of users. You first notice this user 1 month ago, so it became a contact only 2 days ago. And then what we can see from here is the different touch point that they hit, what kind of pages that they view. And if they were, because they actually came in 2 months ago, we know them as an anonymous user. So for example, in this case, we track the 2 months ago, they visit the career, and 1 month later, they visit the rest of the pages. And then from there, once they fill in a certain form or they visit a number of certain pages, we can recognize the persona, assign the persona to them, so that you can pass this on as a lead scoring mechanism or prospective customers to their marketing team for them to contact the various organizations. So that is how Insight works together with the user tracking and analytics and customization. So what if you need to integrate your data that you actually have in Sitefinity to third-party system? Now you can do that using the service hooks from Sitefinity, and this is available in the administration connectivity section under here. Now let's do an example of how this can be done. Now remember that I have a form earlier that I actually wanted to submit. So, and the form page is actually created here. So what happens if I want to submit this to third-party system like CRM, SAP, for example? Now traditionally, you actually need a developer to do the development and then do the integration when a form is posted or something gets triggered in Sitefinity. You actually need the developer to do that, but with Service Hook, you can actually do that easily from within the CMS itself. Now let's do one that we can post the data to this site called webhook.site, so you actually can see what are the data that you get post over to it. Okay, we can create a service hook by coming here. So we call this maybe form submission, and we can select a trigger. So a trigger is any event within Sitefinity itself. It could be when a blog post, a course, or a document, or any specific content that you created is published, edited, deleted. So there's almost endless probability there. You can have your own custom event as well. So in this case, I want to trigger the event when a form is actually posted. So it's submitted. Let's do that. And then I will have to select, I can select any form, or I can select a specific form, in this case, contact us. And I send the endpoint, which is over here. So you can actually submit authentication methods as well. If you have a specific header, footer content, you can create it here. Now, for this case, I'll just create this hook. So once it's created, what happens is that when I submit this form that I created earlier here, it will actually get posted over to the site here. Okay, let's run through a demo to show that. Okay, maybe I want to submit this. I give my phone number and I submit it. So, okay, this is submitted already. Let's go and take a look at the content. And you can see that Sitefinity actually submitted it through the third-party site. These are all the contents that I have created, and you can use this to do your integration with third parties easily. So over here, if you can see the number of successful run, or how many times this was run, and if there's an error. So for example, there's a miscommunication, there's a problem on the third party side, it can actually show up as well, and you can actually show that what was the error message, so you can actually fix it. Yeah, so you can toggle the fail runs as well. In this case, we don't have any fail runs. All right, so that is the end for the service hook integration. The possibility is almost endless, so do feel free to go and test it out. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Andrew, for the demo. And I'd like to open up for questions. If anybody has any questions, please put into the chat. or you can put it into the questions box. I think I have a question. Andrew, are you there? Sorry, Jay, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Great. Okay. So I have a question here. It says, is there a limitation to the number of sites you can manage on Sitefinity?
Yeah, sure. So the short answer to that is no. So you can run as many sites as you like from a single Sitefinity instance, but it's worthwhile kind of talking this over further with your account rep, because we do license the software per domain, but you can buy domain bundles and so forth depending on what your requirements are there. But yeah, absolutely, you can run as many sites as you like on the single instance. You can share the content across the sites. And obviously, with running multiple sites on the one instance, you'd obviously need to be conscious of demand on servers and all of that kind of thing. But we can possibly help you out there with our cloud offering also.
Great. I have one more question here that says, can Sitefinity Insights be used by other platforms?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So yeah, absolutely. So Sitefinity Insight, it's able to take interaction feeds from just about anything. We have support for Google Tag Manager, so you can be picking up that audience or visitor behavior on web properties that maybe aren't running Sitefinity or running mobile apps using technology like Google Tag Manager. We have the ability to interact with Insight from using JavaScript and .NET SDKs, or it might simply be that maybe you've had an offline event. Let's say you've had a conference and you simply want to upload a list of guests that you had to your offline event. So you could just do that simply by doing a basic kind of spreadsheet/CSV upload to Insight, and that's going to basically start gathering how your audiences are interacting with your brand across all of the different channels. Then when it comes to delivering the personalization, we can operate in much the same way. So the using JavaScript and .NET SDKs, APIs, and all of that kind of thing, you can actually leverage that same kind of personalization capability that Andrew showed in the Sitefinity sort of CMS sense within your other applications, whether that's CRM or chatbots, mobile apps, etc.
Cool, sounds good. Thanks, Jay. I think we don't have any more questions. If anybody else has any questions, this is your last chance. Otherwise, we do have resources on our website, progress.com. You can go to, under the products, you can go seek for Sitefinity. There is a number of white papers, case studies, use cases. You can also do trials, so free trials are also available, sandbox, 30-day free that you can access to. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can contact us anytime. I will pop in a contact email for you in the chat that you can contact us for any further questions or more detailed demo sessions that you wanted to do much more tailored to your current situations. So with that, I appreciate your time again and thank you very much. We're closing off our demo session today. Thanks and have a great day. Thank you.